switched laundry detergent. I'm going out Friday night with Derek, dancing. I had my fork halfway to my mouth. Green beans. The ones from the garden she'd stopped tending back in June. Derek, I said, not a question. A fact I was trying to fit into a world that made sense. From the gym. She didn't look up from her plate. You've met him. I had, twice. Young guy, maybe 35, with shoulders that said he'd never done a day's real work, the kind who wears sunglasses inside. Maya had started going to that gym in April, said she wanted to feel good about herself again. You're going dancing, I said. With him. Yes. And the kitchen timer was still going. The chicken had another 10 minutes. I could hear it beeping, but Maya didn't move to turn it off. On a Friday night, I said, like a date, James. She set her fork down, used the voice she'd use with a slow child. We're just friends. But yes, I'm going, whether you like it or not. I put my fork down too, even if I don't like it, I said. She looked at me then. First time she'd looked right at me in maybe 3 weeks. Even if it ends our marriage. That's the sentence you don't forget. Not the words. They were simple enough. It was the way she said them. Flat, like she'd already done the math, and the answer didn't bother her much. I sat there. 56 seconds, I know, because I could see the clock on the stove. She picked her fork back up, started eating again. That's when I knew I didn't know the woman sitting across from me. We'd been married 24 years, not our whole lives. I was 39 when we met. She was 27. I'd inherited my dad's house 2 years before that, after he died. 3 bedrooms, garage, quarter-acre in Riverside. Not much, but it was paid for. Roof didn't leak. Maya worked at the library back then. I was doing electrical work, mostly commercial buildings. She had a smile that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. That's what I remember. That smile. We didn't have kids. Tried for a while. Didn't happen. After 5 or 6 years, we stopped talking about it. She said it was fine. I believed her. 24 years. You build a life. You figure you know someone. She finished her chicken. I couldn't touch mine. The timer was still beeping. You should get that, I said. You're closer. I got up, turned it off. The chicken was burning around the edges. I pulled it out, set it on the stove, turned the oven off. James, her voice behind me. I'm not asking permission. I stood there looking at that chicken. Golden brown in the middle, black at the corners, ruined. I know, I said. I need to live my life. Okay. I'm going Friday, around 8. Don't wait up. I heard her chair scrape, heard her walk to the bedroom, heard the door close. I stood in that kitchen until the chicken went cold. Then I covered it with foil and put it in the refrigerator. Cleaned the pan, wiped down the counters, put the green beans away. Normal things, like if I did them normal enough, everything would go back to being normal. It was almost 10 when I sat down at the table again. The house was quiet. Maya had gone to bed at 8:30. Hadn't said goodnight. I started thinking about the last 6 months. Really thinking. The new clothes in her closet. Stuff I'd never seen her wear. Tighter, brighter. Not library clothes. Her phone. Always face down now, even at dinner. Even when she was in the shower, she took it with her, Thursday nights. Working late, she'd say. The library closed at 6. I'd never asked where she really was. Didn't want to know, I guess. The way she'd started doing her hair different. Makeup every day, even to go to the grocery store. The way she'd stopped touching me, not just sex, though that had dried up around March. But the small things. Her hand on my shoulder when she walked by. Her feet against mine under the covers at night. 6 months of small things I'd explained away. She was getting older, I'd thought. 51. Maybe that's just what happens. But Derek wasn't older. Derek was probably 15, 20 years younger than me. Derek had those shoulders and those sunglasses and that gym membership. And Maya had just told me she was going dancing with him on a Friday night, whether I liked it or not, even if it ended our marriage. I sat there until 2 in the morning, thinking about that sentence. The way she'd said it, like she'd already decided. Like I'd already lost. I couldn't sleep, didn't even try. Maya was in the bedroom snoring soft the way she did when she'd had wine with dinner. I was on the couch in the living room, staring at the ceiling fan going around. 3:15 in the morning, I got up, thought about making coffee, decided against it. Walked into the kitchen for water. Her laptop was on the counter, open. The screen was dark, but it wasn't closed. I stood there looking at it. I've never been the kind of man who checks his wife's phone, never looked through her purse, never read her mail. My dad taught me that. You don't trust someone, don't marry them. You marry them, you trust them. I believed that. For 24 years, I believed that. I touched the trackpad. The screen lit up. Gmail was open. She hadn't logged out. There was a folder on the left side. Just one name. Derek. I sat down. Clicked it. 63 messages. The first one was dated June 3rd, 4 months ago. The last one was from 11:40 tonight, 2 hours after she'd gone to bed. I opened the first one. Hey, beautiful. Good seeing you Thursday. Can't stop thinking about you. Maya's response, you too. James doesn't suspect anything. He's too trusting. I read them all. Every single one. Took me an hour. They'd met at the gym in April. Started talking in May. First message in June. By July, they were planning hotel visits. Our spot, Maya called it, the Fairfield Inn off Route 33. Same place I'd taken her for our first anniversary, back when we didn't have money for anything fancy. The messages got worse. Details I won't repeat. Photos she'd sent him. Lingerie I'd never seen. Her body, in positions that said she'd been thinking about this, planning it. In one message, from September 28th, she'd written, Friday works. James doesn't care what I do anymore. I could tell him I'm leaving him for you, and he'd probably just nod. Derek's response, LOL. Old guys are pathetic. You deserve better. Her response, I know, soon. I took my phone out, started taking pictures. Every message, every photo, 40 screenshots. The last message was from tonight, sent at 11:37. Derek, can't wait for Friday, baby. Gonna make you forget you ever married that old loser. Maya, already have. I closed the laptop, put it exactly where I'd found it, angle and everything, went to the bathroom, stood at the sink, looked at myself in the mirror. 63 years old, gray hair, lines around my eyes from 40 years squinting at wiring in bad light, hands that were starting to show some arthritis, belly that wasn't flat anymore. Old guy, pathetic, loser. I didn't cry, couldn't, just stood there. The coffee maker started its auto brew at 5:30. I heard it from the living room, still hadn't moved from the couch, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say, didn't know if I was supposed to confront her or pretend I didn't know or just, what? 24 years. You think you know the person. You think you've built something solid. Then you find out you've been building it alone. And she's been laughing about it with a 35-year-old gym rat who thinks you're pathetic. The bedroom door opened at 6. I heard Maya in the shower, heard her humming. She came out 15 minutes later, smiled at me, actually smiled. Morning, she said. Cheerful. Morning. Coffee's ready. Yeah. She poured herself a cup, stood at the counter checking her phone, smiling at something. I'm doing yoga after work, she said. I'll be home around 7. Okay. There's leftover chicken if you want it for lunch. Okay. She kissed my forehead, like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't spent last night texting her boyfriend about leaving her pathetic old husband. Love you, she said. I didn't say it back. She didn't notice. I called Tom at 6:15. He answered on the third ring, voice rough with sleep. Jesus, James. You know what time it is? Yeah. Silence. Then, what's wrong? Maya's having an affair. I heard him sit up. Heard bedsheets moving. You sure? Read the messages. 4 months worth. Shit. Oh, yeah. You confronted her? No. Why not? Don't know what to say. More silence. I could hear his wife in the background asking what was wrong. Tom said something quiet, then got up. I heard a door close. Where are you? He said. Living room. She just left for work. You didn't sleep? Oh, no. Jesus Christ, James. I didn't say anything. Didn't trust my voice. I'm coming over, Tom said. Don't. I'm okay. You're not okay. I'm coming over. He hung up. Tom's 66, 3 years older than me. Retired from the post office 2 years back. His wife, Karen, makes breakfast for their grandkids every Tuesday and Thursday. Normal life. The kind I thought I had. He showed up at 7, let himself in with the spare key I'd given him years ago, found me still on the couch. You look like shit, he said. Feel like it. He sat down in Dad's old recliner, the one Maya had wanted to throw out 5 years ago. Said it didn't match the decor. Tell me, Tom said. So I did. All of it. The dinner conversation. The laptop. The messages. The hotel. The heart emoji. When I finished, Tom sat there quiet for maybe a full minute. I knew something was off, he said finally. What? Christmas, last year. She was different. Checked her phone every 5 minutes. Kept smiling at it. That was 9 months ago. I know. Karen noticed too. Didn't want to say anything. Thought maybe we were wrong. 9 months. Maybe longer. She ran into Maya at Target 2 weeks ago, Tom said. Maya was with some guy, young. Karen said Maya saw her and turned around, walked the other way. Derek. Probably. I put my head in my hands. What are you going to do? Tom asked. I don't know. You going to fight for her? Don't know if I want to? Tom nodded. Didn't argue. That's the thing about brothers. They know when not to talk. You need a lawyer, he said after a while. Maybe? No, maybe. You need a lawyer. Good one. I don't want to fight her. James. Tom leaned forward. She already left you. She just hasn't moved out yet. That hit different, because it was true. Mike Breslin, Tom said. Remember him? Handled my buddy Rick's divorce 3 years ago. Rick's ex tried to take everything. Mike made sure she didn't. I don't want revenge. It's not about revenge. It's about not getting screwed. I thought about the house. Dad's house. My name on the deed. Maya had wanted her name added 5 years ago. I'd said maybe later. Never did it. The house is mine, I said. Inherited it before we got married. Good. What else? Joint checking. Joint savings. About $36,000. She working? Part-time. Library, maybe 20 hours a week. You retired? Yeah. Pension from the union. She's going to want half of it. She can't have it. Depends on the state. You need to talk to Mike. Today. I looked at my phone. 7:45. He can probably see you this afternoon, Tom said. I'll call him. You going to be okay? Yeah. Bullshit. But I get it. Tom stood up, stretched. Make some eggs, eat something. I'll call you in an hour. He left. I sat there. Thought about Maya at work, probably texting Derek right now. Laughing about something. About me, maybe. Thought about Friday. Her getting dressed up, walking out that door, going to meet him, whether you like it or not. Even if it ends our marriage. She'd already made her choice. Tom called back at 8:30. Mike can see you at 2, he said. His office is on Market Street, above the bank. Okay. You sure you're okay? No. Yeah, I figured. I hung up. Looked around the living room. 24 years of marriage in this house. Pictures on the wall. Wedding photo from 2000. Me in a suit I'd bought at JCPenney. Maya in a dress her mother had made. Us at Niagara Falls. Us at Tom's daughter's wedding. Us at the Grand Canyon, that trip we took for our 15th. Us. Except there wasn't an us anymore. Maybe there never had been. Mike Breslin's office was above the First National Bank on Market Street. Old building. The kind with radiators that clanked and windows that rattled when the wind blew. I took the stairs. Didn't trust the elevator that looked like it'd been installed when Eisenhower was president. The waiting room had 4 chairs and a coffee table with magazines from last year. Secretary behind a desk, maybe 50, glasses on a chain. She looked up when I walked in. James? She said. Yes, ma'am. Mike's expecting you. Go on back. Mike's office was small, desk covered in file folders. Window behind him looked out at the parking lot. He stood up when I came in. Tall guy, maybe 60, gray suit that fit like he'd worn it 1,000 times. Tom's brother, he said. Shook my hand. Firm grip. Sit down. I sat. He sat. Tom says your wife stepped out, Mike said. No preamble. Just facts. Yeah. You got proof? I pulled out my phone, showed him the screenshots. All 40 of them. He took the phone, started scrolling, didn't change expression, just read. Took him maybe 10 minutes. When'd you find these? He asked. Last night, 3 in the morning. She know you saw them? No. Good. Don't tell her. He handed the phone back. This is a dream case for you. Nightmare for her. I don't want to hurt her. James. Mike leaned back in his chair. She's already hurt you. This is about making sure she doesn't take what's yours while she's at it. I didn't say anything. You own a house? He asked. Yeah. Her name on it? No. Inherited it from my dad. 98. 2 years before we got married. Mike nodded. Premarital inheritance. That's separate property. She's got no claim. She wanted me to add her name. 5 years ago. I said maybe. Thank God you didn't. What about bank accounts? Joint checking, joint savings, about $36,000 total. Was she working? Library. Part-time. Maybe 12, 15,000 a year. You? Retired. Union pension. How long married? 24 years. Almost 25. Mike wrote something down. Pension's trickier. Anything you earned during the marriage is marital property, but he looked up. We're in Ohio. We can use the house equity as an offset. You keep the house. She keeps her half of the savings and takes the car. No QDRO needed. QDRO. Court order to split the pension. We avoid it if we balance everything else. You got a car in her name? Financed in my name. She drives it. Toyota Camry. 3 years left on the loan. She takes the car, refinances the loan in her name. You walk away clean. I thought about that. The house. My pension. In exchange for $18,000 and a car I'd been paying for anyway. That seems fair, I said. Fair? Mike smiled. Didn't have any warmth in it. James, with these messages, I could argue she abandoned the marriage. We could go for a bigger split. But you're not interested in that, are you? No. Just want out. Yeah. He nodded. All right. Here's what we do. Tomorrow, You open a new bank account. Different bank. Transfer $18,000, half the savings. That's legal. It's protective. If she empties the account before we file, you've got nothing. She wouldn't do that. Mike looked at me. Didn't say anything. Didn't have to. Okay, I said. Tomorrow. Don't confront her yet. Don't tell her you know. Act normal. How long? She's going out Friday, right? With this Derek character? Yeah. Let her go. That night, you move out. I'll have papers filed Monday morning. She gets served Tuesday. Move out? You stay in that house. It gets messy. She can claim you're forcing her out of her home. You leave voluntarily, take your stuff, it's clean. Where do I go? Tom's place. Storage unit? Short-term rental? Doesn't matter. Just not that house. I sat there, thinking about leaving my dad's house, the house I'd lived in for 26 years. She's the one cheating, I said. Why do I have to leave? Because you're the one with money and property to protect. She stays in the house. She can claim she's been abandoned. Gets sympathy. Maybe gets the house. You leave. You control the narrative. And you've got the evidence to back it up. This feels backwards. And it is backwards, but it's also smart. Mike leaned forward. James, she's been planning this for months. Maybe longer. You're playing catch-up. The only advantage you've got is that she doesn't know you know. We use that. Sneaky. Strategic. I thought about Maya this morning, humming in the shower, kissing my forehead. Love you. All of it a lie. Okay, I said. I'll move out Friday. Good. Bring boxes. Take what's yours. Tools, clothes, personal items. Leave the furniture. Leave the TV. Don't give her any ammunition about you stealing marital property. It's my stuff. Doesn't matter. Judge sees a man cleaned out a house. It looks bad. You take your personal items. You look reasonable. Mike pulled a paper from a drawer, slid it across the desk. Retainer agreement, he said. $2,500 up front. I'll bill against it. Divorce like this, with evidence this clear, probably runs you $4,000, maybe $5,000 total. And I looked at the number, $5,000 to end a marriage. She'll get an attorney too, Mike said. Probably try to negotiate, but with this evidence, he tapped the desk. She's got no leverage. We offer the split I outlined. She doesn't take it. We go to court. Judge sees these messages. She gets less. You've done this before, I said. 300 times, maybe more. It's always the same story. Different details, same ending. He picked up a pen. You ready to sign? I signed. Mike stood up, shook my hand again. One more thing, he said. Friday night, when you move out, leave a note, simple. Tell her you know, you're filing, don't contact you. Leave copies of the messages on the kitchen table. Let her see what you saw. Why? Because when she calls you in a panic, and she will, you don't answer. She keeps calling. We've got harassment. Helps us later. You think she'll call? Mike smiled. Same empty smile. They always call. I left his office at 3:30. Sat in my truck in the parking lot for 20 minutes. Thought about Maya. Wondered if she was texting Derek right now. Wondered if she'd text me later, ask what I wanted for dinner. Wondered if any of the last 24 years had been real. Started the truck, drove home. She wasn't there yet. Yoga class, or whatever she was really doing. I sat at the kitchen table. Same table where she'd told me about Friday, about Derek, about not needing my permission, even if it ends our marriage. Okay, Maya, okay. Wednesday morning, I opened a new account at Huntington Bank. Across town from our usual place, First Federal. The woman who helped me was maybe 30, smiled too much, asked if I wanted to open a joint account with my wife. No, I said, just me. She set it up. Took 15 minutes. I transferred $18,400 from the joint savings, exactly half. Left the rest for Maya, felt like stealing, even though Mike said it was legal, even though it was my money too. Got home around 11. Maya's car was in the driveway, her day off. She was in the living room, yoga pants and a t-shirt I didn't recognize. Tight, said something about fitness is life across the front. Hey, she said, didn't look up from her phone. Hey, where were you? Bank, had to sort some paperwork. I went to the kitchen, made a sandwich, ham and cheese. She came in while I was eating. Friday, she said. I'm leaving around 7. Meeting Derek at 8:30. I chewed, swallowed. Okay. You're fine with it? You said it didn't matter if I was. She looked at me, trying to read something. I kept my face blank. I just want to make sure we're clear, she said. We're clear. Good, she smiled. Actually smiled. I'm glad you're being mature about this. Mature. Like I was a child who'd finally stopped throwing a tantrum. Yeah, I said. She left. Went back to the living room. I heard her laughing at something on her phone. I finished my sandwich, washed the plate, normal. Thursday I rented a storage unit, 10x10, climate controlled. $85 a month, told the guy I was cleaning out my garage, stopped at U-Haul, bought 10 boxes, heavy duty, the kind for books. Got home, hid them in the garage behind the lawnmower. Maya came home at 6. She'd been at work, said she had to cover for someone. Long day, she said. Yeah. She made pot roast for dinner. My favorite. Hadn't made it in maybe 6 months. Mashed potatoes. Carrots. The works. We ate in silence. She kept looking at me. You okay? She asked. Fine. You've been quiet. I'm just tired. You sure that's all? Yeah. She reached across the table, put her hand on mine. First time she'd touched me like that in weeks. I know this is hard, she said, but it's just dancing. Just one night. I looked at her hand, the wedding ring I'd bought her 24 years ago. White gold with 3 small diamonds. Cost me 2 months' pay back then. Okay, I said. After dinner, I washed dishes. She dried, like we used to do, years ago, before everything changed. I'm going to take a shower, she said. Early day tomorrow. All right. I heard the water running, heard her singing. Something I didn't recognize. Pop music, probably. The kind Derek probably listened to. Sat on the couch, turned on the TV, didn't watch it. At 10:30, she came out, towel wrapped around her, skin still damp. You coming to bed? She asked. I looked at her. She was smiling. The way she used to smile, before the phone, before the gym, before Derek. Yeah, I said. We went to bed. She moved closer, put her hand on my chest. James, she said. I knew what she wanted. Hadn't wanted it in 6 weeks, but tonight she wanted it. I thought about saying no, thought about rolling over, going to sleep, but I didn't. It lasted maybe 10 minutes. She made the sounds she used to make, touched me the way she used to touch me, said my name. When it was over, she kissed my shoulder. Love you, she said, fell asleep 30 seconds later. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling her body against mine, warm, familiar, and all I could think about was Derek, tomorrow night. Her doing this with him, saying his name instead. Wondered if this was practice, if she was making sure she still remembered how. Before she did it with someone who mattered. I got up at 5, couldn't sleep anyway, made coffee, sat in the dark kitchen. Maya came out at 6:30, makeup already done, hair curled, wearing a dress I'd never seen, black, short, the kind of thing she used to say was too young for her. How do I look? She asked. Good. I'm nervous, she laughed, sounded like a teenager. Isn't that silly? It's just dancing. Yeah. She poured coffee, checked her phone, smiled. Smiled at something. Derek's picking me up at 7:30, she said. We're meeting some of his friends at the club. His friends. Not our friends. His. Okay, I said. She looked at me. You're really okay with this? You said it didn't matter. I know, but still. I don't want you to be upset. I'm not upset. Good. She kissed my cheek. I'll probably be late. Don't wait up. I won't. She left for work at 7:15. I watched her car pull out of the driveway. Then I called Tom. It's today, I said. I'll be there at 6:30, he said. We'll have you out by 9. I hung up, looked around the kitchen, the house, Dad's house. 24 years of my life in these rooms. And I was about to walk away from all of it. Because of a woman who'd rather go dancing with a 35-year-old than stay married to me, I went to the garage, started packing boxes. Tom showed up at 6:20, 10 minutes early, backed his truck into the driveway. She gone? He asked. Yeah, left at 7:30. Good, let's move. We worked fast, didn't talk much. Tom knew what to take. Clothes from my closet, toiletries from the bathroom, tools from the garage, Dad's war medals from the shadow box in the living room, the photo albums from the hallway closet. You want the wedding album? Tom asked. I looked at it. White leather. James and Maya, embossed in gold. May 20th, 2000. No, I said. You sure? Leave it. We loaded 7 boxes into Tom's truck. My clothes fit in 3 garbage bags. Tools went in loose. Everything I owned that mattered, and it fit in the bed of a Ford F-150. Furniture? Tom asked. Leave it. TV? Leave it. James, you paid for that stuff. Don't care. Mike said take personal items only. That's what I'm doing. Tom nodded. Didn't argue. At 8:45 we were done. The house looked the same. Just missing me. I went to the kitchen, pulled out the folder I'd made. 40 pages. Every screenshot, every message, every hotel reservation. Printed at the library yesterday while Maya was at lunch. Put the folder on the kitchen table. Put a note on top. I'd written it that morning. Kept it simple. Maya, I know about Derek. I know about the hotels. I know about all of it. I filed for divorce. Mike Breslin will contact you Monday. Don't call me. Don't come to Tom's. We're done. James, I took off my wedding ring. 24 years on my finger. Left a pale stripe on the skin underneath. Put it on top of the note. Stood there looking at it. The folder, the note, the ring. This was it. The end. Ready? Tom said from the doorway. Yeah. Oh, we locked up. I left my house key on the kitchen counter, next to the coffee maker. The one Maya had bought 3 years ago, because she said the old one was embarrassing. Tom drove to a rental property his buddy owned. Small apartment over a garage. 1 bedroom, kitchenette, bathroom. Furnished, basic, clean. Month to month, Tom said. 400, utilities included. I'll take it. We unloaded the boxes. Tom helped me set up. Didn't take long. Everything in one room. At 10 o'clock, we sat on the floor. Tom had brought McDonald's, Big Macs and fries. We ate straight from the bag. You okay? Tom asked. No. Yeah. He wadded up his wrapper. You will be, though. Maybe. You did the right thing. Doesn't feel right. Never does. My phone was on the floor, next to me. I turned the volume off. Didn't want to hear it ring. At 11:47, the screen lit up. Maya. I watched it. 4 rings. Voicemail. 10 seconds later, it rang again. Maya. 4 rings. Voicemail. Again. Tom watched me. Didn't say anything. After the 4th call, I picked up the phone. Turned it off completely. Mike said she'd panic, I said. Mike's seen this before. Yeah. We sat there. The apartment was quiet. I could hear traffic outside. A train horn in the distance. Normal sounds, but nothing felt normal. You want me to stay? Tom asked. No, go home. Karen's probably worried. She knows where I am. But he stood up. You call if you need anything. I mean it. I know. I'm serious, James. Middle of the night. Don't care. You call. Okay. He left. I sat on the floor in the empty apartment, looked at the boxes, everything I had left, thought about Maya. Coming home around 11, finding the note, the screenshots, the ring, reading the messages, seeing herself in black and white, what she'd said, what she'd done, wondered if she felt anything, guilt, shame, regret, wondered if she was calling Derek right now, crying to him about it, wondered if Derek would even answer. I didn't sleep that night. Just sat there, watching the headlights from cars move across the ceiling, listening to the silence. At some point, I must have dozed off, because I woke up Saturday morning, stiff and cold, on the floor. Phone still off, turned it on, 47 missed calls, all Maya, 23 text messages. I read them in order. James, where are you? This isn't funny. Call me. How dare you go through my private messages? You have no right to invade my privacy like this. This is my house, too. You can't just leave. We need to talk. Derek doesn't mean anything. It was just flirting. Please, we can fix this. James, I'm begging you, please come home. You're being ridiculous. It was one night. Fine, don't answer, but you're going to regret this. I can't believe you're throwing away 24 years over nothing. You're ruining everything. The last one came at 3:47 in the morning. I hate you. I deleted them all, didn't respond. Mike had said, don't engage, so I didn't. Made coffee in the little kitchenette. Instant. Tasted like dirt. Didn't care. Sat at the small table, looked out the window at the parking lot. First day of the rest of my life. And it looked a whole lot like nothing. By Sunday morning, I had 93 missed calls, 61 from Maya, 32 from numbers I didn't recognize. Friends, probably. People she'd called to rally support. Tom came by at 10, brought donuts and real coffee. Karen says Maya's been calling everyone, he said. Telling people you abandoned her? That right? Yeah. Says you left without warning. Took half the money. Won't talk to her. All true. Except the part about warning. She had plenty of warning when she was screwing around with Derek. I bit into a glazed donut. Didn't taste like much. Karen's getting calls too, Tom said. Maya wants to know where you are. You tell her? Told her to go to hell. He sipped his coffee. Karen's exact words were, you made your bed, sweetie. She always was direct. Yeah. My phone rang. Maya again. I let it go to voicemail. How many's that? Tom asked. 94. Mike said don't answer. I'm not. The phone buzzed. Text message. Maya. James, please. I made a mistake. We can get counseling. Please don't throw everything away. Deleted it. You gonna listen to the voicemails? Tom asked. No point. Might want to. Evidence, maybe. I hadn't thought of that. Picked up the phone. Put it on speaker, hit voicemail. First one, James, it's me. Please call me back. We need to talk about this like adults. And second one, I know you're mad, but you can't just disappear. That's not fair. Third one, Derek was a mistake. It meant nothing. Please. Fourth one, you're being cruel after everything I've done for you. Fifth one, call me back. Sixth one, crying. Couldn't make out the words. Seventh one, my attorney says you can't take half the savings without telling me. That's illegal. You're going to be in trouble. I looked at Tom. He shook his head. Her attorney's an idiot, he said, or she's lying. Eighth one, fine, don't answer, but you're going to regret this. Ninth one, different voice, woman. James, this is Diane, Maya's sister. I don't know what happened, but you need to call your wife. She's devastated. 10th one, Maya again. Derek won't return my calls either. Are you happy? You ruined everything. I turned it off. Derek bailed, I said. Of course he did. Guy wants an affair, not a divorce. Tom stood up. Mike's filing tomorrow, right? Yeah. Good. Get this moving. He left around noon. I spent the rest of Sunday organizing the apartment, putting clothes away, setting up the bathroom. Normal things? Didn't think about Maya. Tried not to. Monday morning, my phone rang at 7. Unknown number, I answered. Yeah. James? Mike Breslin. Papers are filed. Sheriff's serving her at work today around 2. Just wanted you to know. Okay. She's going to lose her mind. Don't answer when she calls. I won't. Her attorney will probably reach out. Guy named Phil Stanton. Don't talk to him either. Everything goes through me. Got it. You doing okay? Fine. Good. I'll call you after she's served. He hung up. I sat there. Thought about Maya at the library. Shelving books. Helping patrons find the latest romance novel. Sheriff walking in, asking for Maya Henderson, handing her papers, everyone watching. Part of me felt bad about that, the public humiliation. But then I remembered old loser and already forgot you ever married him, and the part of me that felt bad went quiet. Mike called at 3. She's served, he said, threw the papers at the deputy, started crying. They had to escort her out of the library. Jesus. Yeah, she's already called me twice. Screaming about how this is illegal, how you can't do this, how she's going to fight. Can she? Fight? Sure. Win? No, not with the evidence we've got. Papers shuffling on his end. She'll hire Stanton. He'll tell her the truth. Then she'll either settle or waste money trying to fight the inevitable. How long? Ohio requires a 90-day waiting period from filing. We filed today, October 21st. Divorce can't be finalized before January 19th. But we can have a hearing before that. Get the decree signed, just waits for the 90 days to make it official. So January. Probably. Unless she drags it out. She will. Probably, Mike agreed. But it doesn't matter. Clock's ticking regardless. That night, Maya called 43 times, left 11 voicemails, sent 27 texts. I didn't respond to any of them. Tuesday morning, Tom called. Maya showed up at my house last night, he said. What? 11:30, pounding on the door. Karen wouldn't let her in. Maya started yelling, said I was hiding you, said she knew I was behind this. I'm sorry. Don't be. Karen called the cops. They told Maya to leave. She did, but James, she looked bad. Real bad. What do you mean? Like she hadn't slept. Hair a mess. Eyes all red. She kept saying, this is all Derek's fault. He ruined everything. Derek. Not her. Derek ruined it. Mike sent her attorney a letter, I said. Told her to stop contacting me and my family. Good. Karen was ready to hit her with the broom. I almost smiled at that. Almost. Wednesday was quiet. No calls. No texts. I thought maybe it was over. Maybe she'd accepted it. Thursday morning, I got a call from Mike. Her attorney filed a response. He said, she's contesting. On what grounds? Reconciliation. Says she wants marriage counseling. Says you're not giving her a fair chance. We done giving chances. I know. I told Stanton that. He said she's willing to negotiate, but she wants mediation first. No. That's what I figured. I'll tell him no mediation, straight to settlement negotiation. She's not going to like it? Don't care what she likes? Good. Discovery starts next week. I'm requesting her phone records, credit card statements, emails, everything. You need my phone records too? Already got them. You gave me permission in the retainer. Your records are clean, hers won't be. Friday afternoon, Mike called again. Got the credit card statements, he said. 8 different hotels over the last 18 months. Total spent $4,700. I sat down. $4,700. Yeah. All on the joint card. You've been paying for her affair. I thought about all those months. Working my ass off. Retirement money going to motels so my wife could sleep with a gym rat. There's more, Mike said. Phone records show 3 different numbers she was texting. Derek's wasn't the only one. What? 2 other numbers. One in Cleveland, one in Columbus. Both men. I've got a PI tracking them down. How long? The Cleveland number? Messages go back 2 years. 2 years. Maybe longer. James, she's been doing this your entire marriage. This isn't new. You just finally caught her. I didn't say anything. Couldn't. I'm sorry, Mike said. Sounded like he meant it. I know that's hard to hear. Yeah. Settlement conference is scheduled for November 15th. 3 weeks. We'll lay everything out, show Stanton the evidence. He'll tell her to take our offer or get destroyed in court. What's the offer? You keep the house and your full pension. She gets the Camry and $18,000 from the joint account. Clean split, no alimony, no spousal support. She'll fight. Let her. Judge sees this evidence. She'll get less. November came. The leaves turned. Got cold. I bought a space heater for the apartment. Started going to a diner for breakfast. Same booth every morning. Waitress named Ruth knew my order by the 3rd day. Coffee, 2 eggs over easy, wheat toast. You doing okay, hun? She asked one morning. Getting divorced, I said. Ah. She poured more coffee. Hence the haunted look. That obvious? Seen it before? You'll get through it. Maybe. Not maybe. Will. She patted my shoulder. I got divorced at 53. Best thing I ever did. Settlement conference was November 15th. Mike told me not to come. Let me handle it, he said. You show up, she'll make a scene. Better if it's just attorneys. He called me at 4. She rejected the offer, he said. What does she want? Half the house, half the pension, the car, $20,000 cash, and you to apologize. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Apologize for what? Quote, violating her trust by reading her private messages. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Stanton looked embarrassed. I told him we'd see him in court. So we go to court. I've scheduled depositions for next week. Hers is Monday. Yours is Wednesday. What do I need to do? Tell the truth. That's it. Monday night, Mike called. Her deposition was a disaster, he said. She cried. She yelled. She blamed you for everything. Said you were controlling. Said you never paid attention to her. Said Derek made her feel alive again. Was that help her case? Opposite. She came across as entitled and manipulative. Her own attorney looked like he wanted to quit. Wednesday was my deposition. Mike's office. Court reporter. Maya's attorney, Phil Stanton, looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Stanton asked me basic questions. How long married? When did I find out? What did I do? I answered. Simple, direct, didn't elaborate. Did you ever try to work things out? Stanton asked. No. Why not? She'd already made her choice. How do you know that? She told me, over dinner. Said she was going out with Derek, whether I liked it or not. Even if it ended our marriage. Stanton wrote something down. Did you love your wife? Loved, past tense. Yeah, I said. Do you still love her? I thought about that. Looked at Mike. He nodded slightly. Truth. No, I said. When did you stop? 3 o'clock in the morning. October 11th. Reading messages where she called me an old loser. Stanton's pen stopped moving. She called you that? Derek did, she agreed. I see. He flipped through papers. Do you want this marriage to end? Yeah. No chance of reconciliation. None. Why? Can't trust someone who lies. Can't love someone you don't trust. He didn't have any more questions after that. Mike walked me out. You did good, he said. Clean. Honest. Judges like that. When's the hearing? December 18th. Week before Christmas. You ready? Been ready. Thanksgiving came. Tom invited me over. I said no. Spent the day at the apartment. Watched football. Ate a turkey sandwich from the deli. Thought about last Thanksgiving. Maya's pot roast. Her sister Diane and Diane's husband. Playing cards afterward. Normal. Wondered where Maya was. If she was alone. If Derek had come back. Didn't wonder long. Didn't matter anymore. Early December. Mike called. Got some information on the other numbers, he said. Cleveland guy is named Brad Kessler. Works at a bank. Maya met him at some financial literacy workshop the library hosted in 2022. Phone records show they met up 6 times over 8 months. How'd she tell him about me? According to his statement to my investigator, she said you two were separated, living separate lives. Told him divorce papers were being filed? We weren't separated, I know. But he didn't. Guy's 43, divorced himself, thought he was dating a single woman getting out of a bad marriage. When my PI showed up asking questions, he nearly had a heart attack. What did he say? Everything. Gave a written statement. Said Maya told him you were emotionally abusive. That you controlled the money. That you wouldn't let her have friends. Classic stuff cheaters say. I sat there, phone pressed to my ear. I never controlled anything. Of course you didn't. That's what they do. Rewrite history to justify the behavior. What about the Columbus guy? Alex Chen, personal trainer, 29 years old. 29. Maya was 51, old enough to be his mother. Met him at some fitness expo in Columbus. Mike continued. March of last year. 4 hotel visits confirmed by credit card receipts. Same story. She told him she was single. Showed him photos of herself without a wedding ring. She took it off? Apparently. Alex said he never knew she was married until my investigator showed up. Kid's terrified he's going to get sued or something. Gave us everything. Text messages, photos, the works. How many others do you think there were? Hard to say. These are just the ones with phone records and credit cards. Could have been more. Could have been going on longer. Mike paused. James, I've been doing this 25 years. I've seen a lot. But this level of deception, multiple affairs, multiple lies, years of it, this is pathological. This isn't a woman who made a mistake. This is a pattern. Yeah, I know it's hard to hear. Already knew it, just didn't want to believe it. Nobody does. Papers shuffling on his end. Settlement conference is tomorrow, November 15th. I don't need you there. Better if you're not, actually. She sees you, she'll make it emotional. This needs to stay business. What are you offering? Exactly what we discussed. You keep the house, it's premarital inheritance, she's got no claim. You keep your full pension, she gets the Camry, has to refinance the loan in her name within 90 days. She gets half the liquid assets. $18,400 from the joint account, no alimony, no spousal support, clean split. She won't take it. Probably not. But when Stanton sees the evidence, 3 affairs, credit card statements, the whole package, he'll tell her to take it. Because if we go to court, she'll get less. Judge sees this, she's lucky to walk away with the car. When's the hearing if she doesn't settle? I'm pushing for mid-December. Get this done before the holidays. All right. I'll call you after the conference tomorrow. He did. 4 o'clock the next day. She rejected the offer, he said. Didn't sound surprised. What does she want? Half the house value, half the pension, the car, and $20,000 in cash. Oh, and she wants you to apologize in writing for, and I quote, violating her privacy and destroying her reputation. I laughed. Couldn't help it. She's got to be kidding. Stanton looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. I showed him everything, the credit cards, the phone records, the statements from Brad and Alex, the works. He told her she's insane. She told him to do his job. It was quite a show. So we go to court. I've scheduled depositions for next week. Hers is Monday, yours is Wednesday. Then we push for a hearing date. I'm aiming for December 18th. What do I need to do for the deposition? Show up, tell the truth, don't embellish, don't editorialize. Just answer the questions. Her attorney's going to try to make you look bad, controlling husband, emotionally distant, drove her into someone else's arms. Don't take the bait. Stay calm. Stay honest. I can do that. I know you can. Monday night, Mike called. Her deposition was a disaster, he said. Sounded almost cheerful. Complete disaster. How bad? She cried through half of it, yelled through the other half. Blamed you for everything. Said you were emotionally unavailable. Said you never paid attention to her needs. Said Derek made her feel alive again. Did she mention Brad and Alex? Oh yeah. Said those were just friendships that got out of hand. And said she was lonely and vulnerable. Stanton tried to get her to stop talking, but she wouldn't. Just kept going. By the end, even the court reporter looked disgusted. Wasn't that good for us? Better than good. She came across as entitled, manipulative, and completely unrepentant. Exactly what we want a judge to see. Wednesday was my turn. Mike's office, conference room, court reporter set up in the corner. Stanton, sitting across from me with a legal pad. He looked tired, like he'd rather be anywhere else. Mr. Henderson, he started. How long were you married to Maya? 24 years, almost 25. And during that time, would you describe yourself as an attentive husband? I worked, paid the bills, was faithful. That attentive enough? Stanton wrote something. Did you engage in hobbies together? Take vacations? Spend quality time? Used to, less in recent years. Whose choice was that? Hers mostly. She got busy with the gym, working late. Said she needed her own life. Did you object to that? No. Why not? Figured she was entitled to her own interests. Did you ever ask her if something was wrong, if she was unhappy? I thought about that. Honest answer. No, I said. Didn't want to know. Stanton looked up. You didn't want to know? Figured if she wanted to tell me, she would. Didn't want to force it. So you ignored the signs. Didn't ignore them, just didn't push. Isn't that the same thing? Mike cut in. Phil, are you trying to blame my client for his wife's serial infidelity? I'm trying to establish that the marriage had problems on both sides. Problems don't excuse affair or 3 affairs. Stanton sighed, turned back to me. Mr. Henderson, when did you discover the affair? October 11th, 3 in the morning. How? Found messages on her laptop. Did you have her permission to access her laptop? It was open, wasn't password protected. But did she give you permission? She was asleep, didn't ask. So you invaded her privacy. She invaded our marriage. Mike smiled at that. Stanton didn't. Did you confront her immediately? No. Why not? Didn't know what to say. So you planned your exit instead, consulted an attorney, moved money, moved out, all without telling her. She told me she was going dancing with Derek whether I liked it or not, even if it ended our marriage. Seemed like she'd already made the choice. But you didn't try to save the marriage. I can't save something that's already dead. Stanton wrote more. Did you love your wife, Mr. Henderson? Yeah. Do you still love her? I thought about that. Looked at Mike. He nodded. Tell the truth. No, I said. When did you stop? 3 in the morning, October 11th. Reading messages where she called me an old loser. Where she laughed about me with a 35-year-old kid. Where she said she'd already forgotten she married me. Stanton's pen stopped. She said that? Derek said it. She put a heart emoji. He looked at his notes. Didn't write anything. Do you want this marriage to end, Mr. Henderson? Yeah. No possibility of reconciliation? None. Why? Can't trust her. Can't love someone you don't trust. Can't be married to someone you can't love. That seems harsh. That seems honest. Stanton didn't have any more questions after that. Mike walked me out afterward. You did great, he said. Calm, direct, honest. That's exactly what judges want to see. When's the hearing? December 18th, 10 o'clock. Courtroom 3B, Judge Morrison, I've been in front of her before. She's fair, doesn't tolerate bullshit. This evidence, he tapped his briefcase. She'll see right through Maya's act. I need to testify? Probably not. It's just a final hearing. Both attorneys present settlement proposals. Judge reviews the evidence, makes a ruling. You'll be there, but you probably won't have to say anything. How long? 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Then it's over. Decree gets signed. Ohio law says it doesn't become final for 90 days from the filing date. We filed October 21st. So the decree becomes official January 19th. 2 more months. Just paperwork. The marriage is done the day the judge signs. The 90 days is just a technicality. December came, cold. Snow, I bought a heavier coat. Went to the bowling league every Thursday. Got to know the guys. Bill and Chuck and Dave. All divorced. All in their 60s. We talked about nothing important. Sports. Weather. The price of beer. It was good. Tom kept checking in, making sure I was eating, making sure I was okay. You seem better, he said one Sunday. Feel better. Good. You should. Karen started bringing it up, gently. You ever think about dating? She asked over dinner. Not really. You're 63, not 93. You've got time. Maybe someday. I have a friend. Karen. I'm just saying. Tom laughed. Leave him alone. He'll know when he's ready. But the truth was I didn't know. Didn't know if I'd ever be ready to trust someone again. December 18th came. The courtroom was on the 3rd floor of the county building. Old place. Marble floors. High ceilings. Smelled like floor polish and old paper. Mike was already there when I arrived at 9:30. Briefcase open on the table. Papers organized in neat stacks. You ready? He asked. Yeah. Remember, don't say anything unless the judge asks you directly. Let me handle it. Okay. Maya walked in at 9:50. Phil Stanton beside her. She wore a dark blue dress, conservative, hair pulled back, minimal makeup, the I'm a good person outfit. She looked at me. I looked away. They sat on the opposite side of the courtroom, 20 feet away. Might as well have been a mile. At 10 o'clock, the bailiff stood. All rise. The Honorable Judge Patricia Morrison presiding. We stood. Judge Morrison came in. Woman in her late 50s, maybe early 60s. Gray hair cut short, black robe, reading glasses on a chain. She looked like someone who'd seen every trick in the book and wasn't impressed by any of them. Be seated. We sat. The clerk read the case. Case number 24 DR A847 Henderson versus Henderson. Petition for dissolution of marriage. Judge Morrison opened the file, read for a minute, didn't look up. Counselors, she said, I've reviewed all the filings. I've reviewed the discovery materials. I've read the depositions. She looked up. Mr. Breslin, you're representing the petitioner? Mike stood. Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Stanton, you're representing the respondent? Stanton stood. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Stanton, does your client wish to make a statement before I rule? Stanton looked at Maya. She nodded. Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Henderson would like to request a continuance to pursue reconciliation through counseling. On what grounds? She believes the marriage can be saved with professional intervention. She's willing to commit to counseling if Mr. Henderson will agree. Judge Morrison looked at Maya. Mrs. Henderson, when did you first express interest in marriage counseling? Maya stood, hands clasped. After James filed, Your Honor, but he won't talk to me. He won't answer my calls. I can't reconcile if he won't communicate. Why didn't you pursue counseling before he filed? Silence. Mrs. Henderson? I didn't think we needed it, Your Honor. You didn't think you needed counseling while you were engaged in extramarital affairs with 3 different men over a 2-year period. Maya's face went red. I made mistakes. Yes or no, Mrs. Henderson? Did you think you needed marriage counseling while you were having affairs? No, Your Honor. And now that you're facing divorce, suddenly counseling seems like a good idea. Yes, Your Honor. Convenient. Judge Morrison looked at Mike. Mr. Breslin, does your client wish to pursue counseling? Mike stood. No, Your Honor. Petitioner has clearly and repeatedly stated he has no interest in reconciliation. He's provided substantial evidence of respondents' serial infidelity spanning multiple years with multiple partners. He believes the marriage is irretrievably broken. I tend to agree with him. Judge Morrison picked up a document. I have here credit card statements showing hotel charges at 8 different establishments over 18 months. I have phone records showing communication with 3 different men. I have written statements from 2 of those men indicating that Mrs. Henderson told them she was single or separated. I have text messages in which Mrs. Henderson referred to her husband in derogatory terms. She looked at Maya. What do you have to say about this evidence? Maya's lawyer whispered something. She shook her head. Mrs. Henderson, I asked you a question. Maya stood again, voice shaking. I made mistakes. I was lonely. I felt invisible in my marriage. I needed to feel wanted, needed someone to pay attention to me. So you had affairs? Yes. 3 of them? Yes. Over 2 years? Yes, Your Honor. And you lied to your husband about your whereabouts? Yes. And you used marital funds, money that Mr. Henderson earned, to pay for hotel rooms where you met these men? Maya didn't answer. Mrs. Henderson? Yes, she whispered. Did you at any point during these affairs consider the impact on your husband, on your marriage? I didn't think he'd find out. That's not what I asked. Did you consider the impact? No, Your Honor. Judge Morrison set the papers down. Mrs. Henderson, I'm going to be very direct with you. You don't want counseling. You want to delay the inevitable because you don't like the consequences of your actions. You had 2 years to work on your marriage. You chose to spend that time with other men. Now you're facing a divorce that will leave you with significantly less than you'd hoped for, and suddenly you're interested in saving the marriage. She leaned forward. I don't buy it. And neither should Mr. Henderson, will say it. She looked at Stanton. Motion for continuance is denied. Your Honor. Denied, Mr. Stanton. Judge Morrison picked up another document. I've reviewed the proposed settlement. Mr. Henderson retains the marital home, which was acquired through premarital inheritance and is therefore separate property. Mrs. Henderson receives her vehicle, a 2021 Toyota Camry, currently financed in Mr. Henderson's name. She'll need to refinance that loan in her own name within 90 days, or the vehicle will be sold. Mrs. Henderson also receives 50% of liquid marital assets, totaling $18,400. No alimony, no spousal support. Mr. Henderson retains his full pension, with the marital portion offset by house equity. She looked up. Mr. Stanton, does your client agree to these terms? Stanton leaned over, whispered to Maya. Long conversation. She shook her head. He whispered more. She shook her head harder. Finally, Stanton stood. No, Your Honor. Respondent requests 50% of home equity and spousal support of $1,000 per month for 5 years. On what grounds? She sacrificed career opportunities to support the marriage. What career opportunities did she sacrifice? She worked part-time at the library to be available for her husband. Mr. Breslin? Mike stood. Your Honor, Mrs. Henderson worked 20 hours per week at the library throughout the entire marriage. That was her choice. Mr. Henderson never asked her to work part-time. Never asked her to sacrifice anything. She chose part-time work because it was convenient for her. Is that accurate, Mrs. Henderson? Maya stood. I could have advanced, could have worked full-time, but James wanted me home. Did he ever say that? Not directly, but did he ever ask you to work part-time? No, but did he ever discourage you from seeking full-time employment? Silence. Mrs. Henderson? No, Your Honor. Judge Morrison made a note. So you chose part-time work of your own accord? Yes. And now you want your husband to pay you $5,000 because you chose not to work full-time. That's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. To him, Judge Morrison set her pen down. Mrs. Henderson, you engaged in serial infidelity. You lied repeatedly. You used marital funds to finance your affairs. And now you want your husband, the man you betrayed, to give you half his house and support you financially for 5 years. She shook her head. The settlement Mr. Breslin proposed is more than generous. Frankly, if Mr. Henderson wanted to fight, he could probably walk away with everything except your vehicle and you'd have no legal recourse. She picked up her pen again, started writing. I'm granting the divorce. Decree is signed today, December 18th, 2024. Per Ohio statute, the decree becomes effective 90 days from the filing date, which is January 20th, 2025. She didn't look up, just kept writing. Mr. Henderson retains the marital home. Mrs. Henderson receives the 2021 Toyota Camry and must refinance the vehicle loan in her name within 90 days. Mrs. Henderson receives $18,400 from the joint savings account, no alimony, no spousal support. All other marital assets and debts are divided equally. Mr. Henderson retains his full pension with no QDRO required. She signed the bottom of the page, looked up. Mr. Breslin, you'll file the final decree? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Stanton? Stanton stood. Your Honor, my client wishes to appeal. On what grounds? The settlement is inequitable. She's been married 24 years and she's walking away with a car and $18,000. She's walking away with exactly what she deserves given her conduct. Judge Morrison closed the file. Appeal if you want, Mr. Stanton, but I guarantee you won't win. This is one of the clearest cases of marital misconduct I've seen in 20 years on the bench. Be grateful I'm not ordering her to pay Mr. Henderson's legal fees. She stood. We're adjourned. Everyone rose. Judge Morrison left. I stood there. Mike was packing his briefcase. Across the room, Maya was crying, loud gasping sobs. Stanton was talking to her quietly, but she wasn't listening. She looked up, saw me watching. James, she said, stood up, started walking toward me. James, please. Please, can we just talk? Stanton grabbed her arm. Maya, don't. Let go of me. She pulled away, kept walking. James, please, 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Just 5 minutes. I looked at her. Red face, makeup running, hands shaking, and I felt nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, not even pity. Just nothing. No, I said. James, we're done, Maya. Please. I turned and walked out. Heard her behind me. James, James. Kept walking, down the hallway, down the stairs, out the front doors. Cold December air hit my face. Felt good, clean. Mike caught up with me on the sidewalk. You okay? He asked. Yeah. That was rough in there. Yeah. But it's over. Decree's signed. 33 more days and it's official. Okay. He shook my hand. Good luck, James. You deserve better than what you got. Thanks. I got in my truck, sat there, looked back at the courthouse. Old brick building, flag flying out front, people going in and out, just another day for them. For me, it was the day my marriage officially ended. 24 years, gone. Signed away by a judge who'd never met either of us before. This morning, I started the truck, drove to the apartment. That night, I slept 8 hours straight, first time in 2 months. September, 8 months after the divorce was final. I was at the grocery store, Kroger on Main. Needed coffee and bread. Turned down the cereal aisle, and there she was. Maya. She saw me same time I saw her, froze. She looked different, thinner, hair shorter, no makeup, jeans and a sweatshirt, the kind of clothes she used to call giving up clothes. James, she said. I nodded, kept walking. Wait, she followed. Please, can we talk? Don't think so. Just 5 minutes. I stopped, turned around. What? There's a coffee shop across the street. Please. I should have said no. Should have kept walking. But something in her face stopped me. She looked tired, old. 5 minutes. I said. We walked to the coffee shop, sat in a booth by the window. I ordered coffee. Black. She ordered tea. You look good, she said. Thanks. Lost weight? Some. She stirred her tea, hadn't taken a sip. I heard you sold the house. Yeah? Where are you living? Apartment. Over on 5th. Oh. She stirred more. Are you seeing anyone? Not really your business. I know. She looked up, eyes wet. I wanted to say I'm sorry. Okay. I mean it. What I did, all of it, it was wrong. You were the best man I ever knew, and I threw it away for nothing. I drank my coffee. Didn't respond. Derek lasted 3 weeks, she said. After the divorce. Then he ghosted me. Brad and Alex, too. Turned out they just wanted, not a relationship. Maya, I'm not asking you to forgive me. I know I don't deserve that. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. And I wish I could take it all back. I looked at her. Really looked. She meant it. I could see that. But it didn't change anything. I appreciate the apology, I said. But it doesn't matter. I know. We're done. Have been for a long time. I know. She wiped her eyes. Can we at least be friends? I don't think so. Why not? Because I don't trust you. Can't be friends with someone you don't trust. She nodded. Knew it was true. What are you doing these days? I asked. Didn't know why. Just seemed like the thing to say. Working full-time at the library now. Got my own apartment. Small. It's fine. She smiled. Sad smile. Living the dream. You'll be okay? Yeah, probably. She looked at me. What about you? You happy? I thought about that. About the apartment, the bowling league, Sunday dinners with Tom and Karen, coffee with Linda. I'm working on it, I said. Good. She meant it. You deserve to be happy. I finished my coffee, stood up. Take care, Maya. You too. I walked out, across the parking lot to my truck, didn't look back, got in, started the engine, sat there for a second, thought about the last 8 months. The apartment, the new routine, learning to be alone without being lonely. It wasn't the life I'd planned, wasn't the life I'd wanted, but it was mine, clean, honest, real, and that was enough. I pulled out of the parking lot, drove home. The sun was setting, orange light across the buildings, cars heading home, people living their lives. I was one of them now, just another guy, divorced, starting over. And for the first time in a long time, that felt okay.